Now the rain's really coming down on the roof. Oh my god. So today I'm back in the Lake District in the northwest of England. It's absolutely stunning weather today. It's probably going to be the hottest hike that I've done so far because all of my Bothy adventures up to now have been done outside of the holiday season. Speaking of the holiday season, it's very busy up here because everyone's up here in their campers. The little lane out to this remote location is like a motorway today, which doesn't bode well for finding the Bothy I'm out here to see empty. Of course, I've come all this way. I'm going to hike up to it, film everything I see along the way, and fingers crossed we'll at least get a bunk in there. Although this one is a tiny one, and if it's already got 3 people in it, it's probably going to be a fail. But we'll see. Let's go. Okay, I've barely even hit the trail from where I parked the car. I mean, here's the gate at the bottom of the track, and already I've spotted just there is the Bothy on the hill. So yeah, amazingly I've found the Bothy before I've even started on this one. So looks like the old Carrock mine is just coming into view. So there you go, you've got a nice information board there about the mine. Mining stopped in 1981. Many of the surface remains were demolished or flattened. That's what this place used to look like. Hard to envisage now, sadly. Now, you'd never believe it, but the little Bothy we're on our way to go and see used to be down here on the mining site. It was somewhere where the miners used to chill out, I think, have their tea, something like that. But yeah, when it closed in the 80s, they must have taken it all apart and took it up there bit by bit, re-erected it at the top of the hill as a mountain shelter. So, giving it a good send-off, I guess. Maybe it meant something to the men that worked on the site. Anyway, I cannot walk past this place without at least having a little wander around and checking it out. I'll just have to be careful for any hidden shafts. Oh wow, look at this. So I've got to go and have a little look at that. I don't think you can actually go far in there. It looks like there's a gate, but I want to have a look past the gate. And just have to get my torch out of the bag so we can see what we're doing. Just hop down onto these stones. There we go. Oh my god, it feels so much colder here. You instantly feel the temperature change. Oh, look at this. So this is the view beyond the gate. I've waded right up to it. The breeze here is so freshening in this hot weather, it's unbelievable. But yeah, can you imagine the guys wading in there, off down that tunnel, however long it is, on their way to go mining? Crazy. Yeah, that's pretty stunning. I wonder if there's more shafts along here. I'm gonna have to go and have a look. So that's clearly part of the main building. Have to be a bit careful in case any of it's loose. I made it. Wow. Yeah, so I should imagine all of that rock is the demolished buildings. It's sad really that they didn't leave some of it standing and just, you know, fenced it off so that we could still see it. But quite cool that some of it is still standing. I should imagine that was probably an entrance that's been filled in. I wonder how far beyond this pile of stones that tunnel goes. Wow. I'm not sure what this must have been. I forgot to mention that they mined tungsten here amongst other things. Now when I was looking into this area, I did find some videos of people who hiked up here, found some open shafts and took a wander in there. And it was really precarious. There was like, you know, open shafts on the ground with rotting timber planks making a walkway over the top of them. And these guys went quite far in to, you know, even find junctions and other corridors off deeper into the mine. Crazy, really. Why you'd risk something like that, especially with no protective gear. Let's get back onto the track and make our way up to the Bothy now. Final push. So just as I was leaving the old mine, a couple appeared. Now they both had hiking gear and rucksacks on. They've stopped to have a look at the mine themselves, but I'm not entirely sure if they were on their way up to the Bothy or whether they're just looking around. Yeah, there's the Bothy up there. Now the couple, I can't see where they went, so I wonder if they just carried on along the bottom track. The question is, if they did go that way, who's going to get there first? Bit of a race. Whew. I had to have a break because I think this is the final push. Once I cross this little stream here, I've got to go up that steep bit there by the looks of it. There may be a less steep path that goes and follows the stream, but I'm uncertain about that because on the map I'm pretty sure I was supposed to come up to the left of the Bothy, and when I was back there the Bothy was just there. But if you look back at where I've come from, it's much further than you think, and I didn't see the other couple. When I looked back, couldn't see them, and there was a section where I could see what I thought was the lower path. Again, I think that was just a stream, and I couldn't see them. So unless they're hidden by part of the hill, they may have gone somewhere else or turned back. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm nearly there. You couldn't make it up. No sooner did I turn the camera off after saying I couldn't see him, so he only appeared on the other side there. So this really is a race to get to the top. When you're up close, despite being able to see the Bothy from all the way down where I parked the car, you can't see it. So it's a good job I decided to get my bearings as to what was kind of leading up to it before I left the bottom of the valley there. Because I think once I get here, it's just going to be to the right. Should come into view soon, surely. I've never been more happy to see a little building in the middle of nowhere. There it is, just there on the brow of the hill. I definitely either came the wrong way or the old trail just disappears and has been overgrown through lack of footfall, I don't know. But either way, that was steep, covered in rocks and bracken and little streams, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna, put my foot right down a little crack in the rock. Every now and again I had to really try and be careful. Oh, can't wait to get there. I just hope the place is empty, because if it's just me and the couple, that's going to be 3. It'll be cozy in there and full. If someone's already there, we're stuffed. There it is. As far as I know, the most remote shed in England. Oh, can't wait to just dump all my stuff. And the door's wide open. Why do people do that? Anyway, it looks like I'm the only one here, thankfully. Oh dear. Whew. Well, leaving the door wide open does air the place out, I suppose, but it also means that sheep can get in here and leave a mess. Luckily it looks like they haven't. So I made it to the Bothy. The Bothy is called Lingy Hut, probably because it's on this big hill known as Great Lingy Hill. Now when I called it a shed earlier, it's obvious why, because it really does just look like a big garden shed. Probably one of the most basic shelters that I've come to so far. So the Bothy, after it was moved up here when the mine closed down, was a shooting lodge for a little while, and then a school used it. There was some sleeping platforms in there, and then I think like the National Trust or something like that took it on for a while. The Mountain Bothy Association only took this place on in 2017, and they gave it a full refurb. So as far as I can tell, looking at the pictures, the timber on the outside, the timber on the inside, they totally restored the place. So to be honest, I'm not sure how much of this is even the original hut that used to be down in the mine. It's probably a little bit like Trigger's broom out of Only Fools and Horses. Anyway, while I've been stood here chatting, the couple are in the distance, and they certainly do look like they're making their way up here. So whether they're just gonna check the place out, have a cup of tea and go, I have no idea. We'll find out very shortly, because they are definitely on the way. But I did win the race. I'm pleased about that. Anyway, before they get here, let's quickly have a little look around. There's really not much to see. It's such a tiny place. You've got this very small cooking area, but it's functional. It'll do the job. There's plenty of room there for one person to cook, so we're all going to have to take turns probably. You've got a bunk the full length of the wall there, so anyone tall or potentially 2 small people could fit there. Maybe another small person in the middle and a normal sized person in that one under the window, which I've bagsed because I fancy the window spot. Look at that view behind me. You can see for absolute miles. Even though it's cloudy, you can still see a long way. Hello. Yeah. I wondered when I saw you down there if you were making your way up here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that you made it quicker than us. But...
So it's only been about 10 minutes since the last couple left. They were basically on their way to a place 8 kilometers away, so they were just hiking past here, really. And I thought maybe I was going to get the place to myself. It turns out there's another couple coming up here. That was mad. Just as those two guys got to the cabin, another 3 guys suddenly appeared around the corner, and 5 all turned up at once, and they didn't even know each other. I mean, the reason for it being so busy up here is that this track is actually called the Cumbrian Way, and it goes right past the Bothy. So there you go. I think I'm likely to see a lot more visitors. I've already seen, what is it, 5, 6, 7 people so far. In like an hour. So I've been on my own for about half an hour. I decided to busy myself a little. I've got my cooking stuff ready to go. I'm getting a bit hungry now, so I will be doing that very shortly. I decided not to sleep directly under the window. I've gone for the corner there. Looks a bit cozy. Yeah, should be a great view from the window. The sun's actually going to come up just over there somewhere. That is the east. So tomorrow I should be able to get a fantastic time lapse, all being well. It's going okay so far. I've just put the sauce on the mince. I'm just going to let that reduce down. Then I'm going to finish frying the onions and the peppers, and we should be almost good to go. Bit of sour cream, bit of ready grated cheese, onions and peppers to finish it off. And wrap it up. That is actually really good. That was a nice dinner. While I was making it, another man turned up. So that makes 8 visitors now. I've never had so many visitors while I've been staying in a Bothy before. But I guess that's what happens when the Bothy's right on a popular hiking route. So I don't know how many more visitors I'm going to get before bedtime, or if any of them want to stay. It's still early yet. Really feel like the king of the castle up here. I mean, I can see every direction from here. This really is a great vantage point. I mean, I can see all the way down to where I came from. I can see all the way down there, back down the Cumbrian Way, and where it continues on up there. Although a few of the visitors did creep up on me earlier without me seeing, so it's not that good. I can hear some quad bikes or dirt bikes. Can't quite see them. No, I've spotted them. It's 3 lads on dirt bikes. And they've probably seen me as well, seeing as the Bothy sticks out like a sore thumb. If they come up here, I just hope that they're not troublemakers. Okay, they're a bit closer now. It's 3 dirt bikes and 4 lads by the looks of it. So they've all just stopped out there, and they're all looking in this direction as if they're contemplating whether or not to come up. Okay, it looks like the bikers have made the decision and they're on their way up. So we'll soon find out whether they're friendly or not. So it turned out there was nothing to worry about. Those lads, they weren't just loitering down there checking me out. It turned out one of them had got their bike half submerged in a bog, and they were basically trying to drag it out. And I just couldn't tell from this distance what they were doing. It looked like they were all just standing around looking up at him. I was worried for a minute that it might have been like one of those horror movies where I was going to get terrorized by the locals. But yeah, turns out they've basically ridden all the way down here from Carlisle, which is a fair old trek along, you know, terrain like this, even on a dirt bike. So yeah, they're just basically on their way home. They weren't planning on staying here. There was nothing sinister about them. They were just out here having a good time, and they got a little bit stuck. It's just coming up to 8:30 now, and official sundown is 9:41 apparently. So although there's still quite a while before the sun officially goes down, sundown here is going to happen imminently because it's about to disappear behind the hill there. Okay, the sun has officially disappeared behind the hill there. Nobody else has turned up yet. so I may well get this place to myself. Incidentally, since the sun's disappeared, the wind is really picking up. It's quite strong. And I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. We are at 600 metres above sea level here and fairly exposed. So this is probably one of the highest bothies in the country, if not the whole of the UK. Not entirely sure whether that's a fact or not, but it's got to be up there. So it has got quite cold and windy outside now, and I'm quite glad to be in the shelter. And that also seems to be the sentiment of pretty much everyone who's signed this Bothy book. It's only been going, this one, since the end of May, but almost every single one has said, thank goodness we could get out of the wind or the rain. It must be a proper windy spot up here. But I'm happy to say that there are no ghost stories in here. And surprisingly, in the last 2 months, only about 5 people have written that they stayed here. Most of them just popped in for a coffee and, you know, bit of shelter. I hope I'm going to get a good night's sleep here tonight. There were a few stories in there about sheep rubbing themselves against the door or the cables on the corners of the hut. So I might get a rude awakening, but you never know, I might even be up before them. I normally am, to be fair. So yeah, any weird noises, especially scraping noises, it's the sheep. Just tell myself it's the sheep. So it's about 10 o'clock at night, and although it's very dark in here, dark enough to light some candles, as you can see, it's incredibly light outside still. Oh, there we go. So yeah, you can see there's still plenty of light in the sky. But yeah, it's getting dark, but I'm not sure it's going to get completely dark for a while yet. Amazing, nearly 11 o'clock. So it looks really nice actually. Doesn't have that kind of scary feel that a lot of the stone buildings have when it's getting dark. This just looks like a very welcome shelter. Love it. Really impressed with this place, to be honest. I thought being a really basic shelter, I just wouldn't enjoy it as much, but it's really nice. Oh, so much nicer. So I've got my boots off. I'm going to climb into my sleeping bag and settle down for the night. I just noticed, now it's getting much darker outside, that I've got the pretty twinkling lights of civilization out on the horizon there to keep me company while I sleep. So that's really nice. Anyway, good night. Oh my god, it's like 12:30, and I did sleep for about an hour, but yeah, the wind has really picked up to the extent that it's making the whole cabin creak periodically. Anyway, I'm going to get back in bed. Hopefully this will clear up soon. Now the rain's really coming down on the roof. Honestly, every time I settle down, first it was the strong wind, now it's heavy rain on the roof. I'm glad I'm in here and not out there though, that's for sure. Okay, I did get an hour's sleep I think. But it's even heavier now than it was before. It just woke me up again. And then that got me thinking, the forecast for this weekend up here was like 25 degrees and just sunshine throughout. So I didn't bring my raincoat. If this is still going on in the morning, I'm gonna have to hike out with no coat. I'm such an idiot. Oh my god. Right, I'm going to try and get another couple of hours. Okay, it's 3:45 now, and yeah, did get a bit more sleep, but woken up again by more really strong rain. The official sunrise is supposed to be in about 45 minutes, but I don't think there's going to be a time lapse of the sunrise this morning. Let's have a look outside. Oh my god. Not just rain, but thick fog as well. This is unbelievable. Get out. Oh my god. A little bug just crawled into my boiling pot. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to fish him out with a teaspoon. That was a stupid move, wasn't it, mate? Honestly. You'd think the heat would have scared him away, but I don't know. Maybe they can't feel stuff like heat. Oh. Despite the hour, that tastes pretty good. With extra beetle. So it's coming up to 5 o'clock in the morning. That's just about 5 or 6 minutes after the official sunrise for this area. But in reality, looking out the window, visibility is probably about 20 foot. To my naked eye, it looks like the wall of clouds starts just about there, but the camera's making it look further back. But even so, the camera still shows that you can't see a bloody thing. There's a whole valley there just hidden under thick fog. And unless it clears, it's going to be a really hairy and boggy hike back down to the car. Okay, so I think the rain has stopped. I can't hear it on the roof anymore, so let's have a little look outside. Yeah, a lot of moisture in the air, not quite raining. It seems that hardly a Bothy adventure goes by without some sort of drama. And this one's no exception. Feels like I went to bed in summer and woke up in the winter. Unbelievable. I mean, you can't see a thing. Nothing. I'm gonna have to wait until it clears. I mean, like I say, the sun's officially up now. Hopefully some of this is gonna get burned away. I'm gonna give it, I don't know, as long as it takes, I think. Because trying to hike down there, knowing the terrain that I came up on, is not going to be easy. You couldn't make it up, honestly. What a change. So it's bright enough to not need any light in the cabin now, but when you look out the window, it just looks like a complete whiteout. You could almost believe that there's snow cover everywhere from here. But I'm pleased to say that visibility is returning. So that is very good news. It is slowly burning away. So hopefully in the next 1 to 2 hours that's going to completely disappear and I'll be able to safely navigate my way down again. It is going to be boggy though, no doubt about that. Well, despite looking like it was clearing up, it's properly fogged over again and I can't see a bloody thing. So second cup of coffee, give it another hour. So it's 6:30 and it's still very foggy outside. I don't want to leave it much later because it might rain and I really don't want to get stuck in the rain. At least for the time being, it's going to be difficult getting down in the fog, but I'm going to stay dry. Yeah, if I stayed here another hour and then it chucked it down with rain, that would be a decision I would have regretted. So anyway, I've tidied everything up, left it pretty much the way it was when I got here, if not slightly cleaner because I swept it out a bit. That's it, another Bothy adventure almost over. And it's time to say goodbye to Lingy Hut. Maybe I'll come back again one day, certainly not in the winter, because it was bad enough in the summer. Great start, dodgy ending. Anyway, I've got to try and navigate my way back down there somehow. So yeah, I better get going. Okay, so this looks more like a trail, so let's give it a go. You never know, it might be the actual trail and it may be easier than I thought going back down, so fingers crossed. I've only walked about a couple of 100 feet and you can barely see the Bothy already. Crazy. The sheep are all going mad. This certainly looks much more trail-like than the route I came up on. This is the kind of boggy stuff that I was expecting, but to be fair, I'm not exactly sinking up to my ankles yet, so hopefully it ain't going to get much worse than this. The terrain on this trail is much better than the way I came up, so that's made me feel a little bit better about descending in the fog. As long as I'm heading down, I should come across the small stream that's running through the middle of this little valley at some point anytime soon, and then I'll just head in the general direction that that's flowing, and that will take me right back down to the car. So yeah, in that respect the fog's not too bad, and I can see far enough not to fall down a hole, so it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it's still pretty crazy when you consider what the weather was like on the way up here yesterday. We're actually coming below the cloud now. The valley floor is clear, so I think we're definitely through the worst of it. Just got some really boggy stuff to try and navigate between here and there, but we're on our way. So yeah, it's clear now coming down this route where I went wrong yesterday. I just did not see what I can clearly see now, and that is that trail between the shrubbery there. And I just saw the bothy at the top and made a beeline for it through all of that. So yeah, anyone who comes up here in future loses sight of the trail after the stream. Like I said, I knew the bothy was up there, so I just made a beeline for it once I'd lost sight of it. But what I should have done is turned right there and gone up just to the left of the stream, and once you're up there in between the shrubbery there, the trail is actually much more apparent, and it's a much nicer and less steep ascent up to the bothy. Brings you out right in front of it. So I hope you enjoyed my bothy adventure to Lingy Hut in the Lake District. I certainly did. Had a bit of an unexpected end to my adventure. Certainly did not expect to get all of the weather in the middle of the night and lose a bunch of sleep over it, and wake up and see a wall of fog outside the window. It seems that there's always something that keeps me on my toes on my bothy adventures, but at least it makes it interesting. So if you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.